What's up, everybody? How you guys doing on this wonderful Friday? Hopefully, motherfucking great, as I'm doing great. So, I don't know if I uploaded it on this platform. I think I did, but I went to a place called Cali Dental, right? I went to this place, and they had this fucking girl working on me, didn't know the name of the teeth, didn't know the name of the equipment, all types of shit. Like she was just not. And then the girl that did know everything, she's like, oh, I'm gonna have her do it. And I'm like, wait, but she's gonna shadow you, right? Oh yeah, she's gonna shadow. But she wasn't shadowing. She was actually gonna try to do the x-ray procedure, right? And I'm like, oh fuck. Well, I'm all for growth and improvement, so I'm like, fuck. I'm like, okay, well, she's gonna shadow you. And that's kind of how the way I rationalized it in my mind. So she starts and she's like iffy and insecure about it. So I really need my tooth pulled because it's hurting so bad I can't even think, right? So we start doing the x-rays, and then she's telling me to bite down while she's trying to pull something out of my mouth. Like she's supposed to say open, so she can pull out the device. And so at that point I tell her, hey, I was like, hey, take a deep breath, breathe. You need to breathe. So she like ignores me, right? Like whatever. So I'm like, okay, whatever. You don't want to breathe. Your fucking brain needs oxygen so you can think and give the right commands, right? So at that point I pull my camera out. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be interesting, and also for my safety, I'm gonna start recording. I had no clue that there was a no recording policy at that moment. So start recording, and then like a few minutes later, the girl that knows what she's doing has to step in, and then she's like, hey, don't record. You're not allowed to, blah, blah. I'm saying, okay, so I turn my phone off. She goes and tells on me that I was recording, and I'm like, so then the manager comes, who's just so happened her name to be Cassandra, which is somebody that I do want nothing to do with, right? So this person comes, right? The manager, Cassandra, comes, and she's like, hey, so they told me you're recording. I said, yeah, but I put my phone away, and it was only me on the video, so I'm not recording anymore. And everything's peaceful, quiet, calm. Well, this bitch starts to tell me.
Oh, estaba destruida la jaula, ¿verdad?
No,
la tumbaron. La tumbaron. No, ¿cómo crees que el aire se la iba a tumbar?
No sé. So, real quick, I wanted to do this blog before I continue with my day. So, I get defensive, of course, because there's nobody on the video except me, and she says, well, you need to erase it. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm not gonna erase it. She's like, well, you need to erase it or you need to step out. And I'm like, so at that point, I don't lose my cool, but I get up and I'm like, so you're kicking me out then, right? You're telling me that I gotta leave. I'm not gonna delete it. So as a manager, she could have done things so much differently, but instead she acted like a child. I walk out and I'm telling her, well, you're kicking me out. I'm like, like bad service. I'm out of here. I don't even want you to work on me no more. Then I try to get the name of the girl who didn't know shit, right? And she wouldn't give me her name, and it turned into a situation. When I first walked in there, I could tell that there's a lot of gossip that goes on in there, a lot of like low vibrational creatures in there, right? So not everyone, maybe it was just only a few, like I don't know. But so I noticed there was like a resistance towards me, right? So I'm like, okay, whatever, like I don't like you, you don't like me, that's cool. And it's not that I don't like them, but I don't like the way they were treating me. So then I ended up leaving, right? But I did kind of like, I blogged a little bit. I could have done better with the camera, but my camera on my phone's a little busted, whatever. So I leave, and I already had another appointment with a different dentist where it's a paid dentist or private insurance, not Medi-Cal, Sen-Cal, or anything free, right? So I go to this dentist, and they have the most lovely, beautiful, kind ladies working in there. And when I get there, it's like family oriented. Like they have their babies. The girl shows up with her baby. The babies are there. Like it's such a beautiful, growth atmosphere, you know. And this what I'm trying to say today is that it matters who you deal with, because these people, these ladies that were like being fucking dumb, right? They don't want growth. They want their way or the highway. That's it. There was no room to breathe, no room to like work it out or work it the right way. There was just like my way or else, you know. You know, she even, the girl at Cali Dental even threatened to call the police on me. And I'm like, for what? Like, I didn't fucking do anything. So, anyway, so I go to the new dentist today, and these chicks, I'm like, what the? I'm like, I know I'm handsome, but like, what's going on here? Like, why are they being so nice to me? And like, you know, everyone's just so cool. And it's just the type of people. These are people of quality over here at this dental place. It's like everyone there is like on the up. They're like up, and they cared about their review. They have these cups. I said, hey, are those for sale? And the girl says, no, those are actually for people that leave reviews, you know? And I said, oh, well, I had a bad experience yesterday with a different dentist. You guys that gave me a good experience, I'm going to give you 5 stars, you know? She's like, well, if you do that, then you get a free cup. I'm like, wow. So, and that shit matters. That's a person of quality, a person in a company that cares about what you say about them, about their review, about who they are and what they stand for. So, the people that don't want you to grow, or they're gonna get in your way. They're not gonna motivate you. They're not gonna give a fuck about anything. They're gonna care about their opinion, their narcissistic opinion, and their opinion only. Like, you know, and that's the thing, is these people have, there's no, the way that their mentality is, there's no future. They're there forever. That's their dead end job. Like, I have a channel. I am a massage therapist. I'm not practicing right now, but just because I'm harvesting vegetables, working with Mexicans that are illegally here, and my mom's came from Mexico too. Like, no discrimination there, but I don't see myself as at a dead end place. I'm not. You know, I need money. I need to fund my channel, any giveaway I do, and I need to pay for little things. You know, I haven't made it to where I want to be yet, and I don't have the money that I want yet. So I'm working and I'm doing what I got to do right now. But like, these people with small minds, like, they just don't get it. You know, it's like, this is it for them, you know, and it's sad. I hate to give bad reviews, but when the way that they treated me is like, you know, and maybe, you know what, maybe I could have toned it down a little bit and I could have let it go. But I've already been through experiences where people want me to delete shit, or, you know, you're telling me you're calling the police for no reason. Like, I did nothing. So you're being biased now because I have tattoos. You're assuming that I'm going to call the police. He's a criminal, you know? That's all that was, you know? So I can't support that in no fucking way. I cannot support that at all. So, anybody that wants you to grow is going to allow you to spread your wings, grow, self-express. And so, don't let people fucking push you down. Stand the fuck up for yourself. Get the fuck up and stand up. Let people know what you're thinking, or what you feel, what you see, and the way you feel that they're treating you. I had a appointment today, not appointment. I had a meeting. I had to call the owner of the company today because the foreman was fucking on my ass today for no reason. Where's your gloves? Like, where's this? Where's that? And the problem is that he's not checking everybody else like that. Only me, because I know English, because I was born here, because I have an injury and I don't have to fucking work. I just show up and I do work, but I do like modified work, you know? And everybody else, the fucking people that don't take breaks, because they don't get hot or they don't get tired are complaining that I don't do shit, you know? And their life is like that because that's the life that they choose to be. They don't take breaks. They don't drink water, you know? And by the time they want to drink water or get a break, it's too fucking late. They already think that you're a slave that works for minimum wage and will do anything. And that's because that's the way they paint the picture, you know? So the thing is that you got to start painting the picture the way that you want it to be, you know? And when someone's mistreating you or being biased, being discriminating, you need to speak up, you know? And that's what I did today. You know, unfortunately, I lost a friend today, you know, because this girl, she's like 21, yeah, really young, but she was on my dick, bro, on my nuts. And she has a husband, but I heard her say to her mom, I want to leave him, blah, blah, blah. And then she starts talking to me at work, right? It's at work. And then she told me, I noticed that they're treating you wrong because they tell you stuff, they don't tell nobody else stuff. And like, she was on my side until one day, we kind of had a fallout, and it was over something stupid. I don't know if I said something or I posted a video of me with some other girls, and those crackhead bitches that were fighting, it's like, dude, I don't even hang out with them. I don't know them. And I don't know, after I showed that video and like we had a little conversation, is when things changed. But anyway, I stopped talking to her like I normally do. And then she started laughing at me at work. Like they would look over and laugh at me and talk shit, whatever. And I'm like, okay, like I'm good then, you know? Like that's who you are. You said all this shit that you're such a genuine person. But anyway, so today I call her to talk to the foreman and to the owner of the company, and I said, hey, tell him what you told me, that he only picks on me and nobody else. And then she said, I didn't say that. She started lying, making me look like I'm the fucking one that's lying. Why am I gonna make some shit up that you said that I said that you said? You know, fuck that. And I put that down on everything. I put down on everything. I told the foreman, and he's my homie. He's cool. You know, he's like, I was like, look, bro, like, I put that down on everything that this fucking chick told me those words, bro, that the guy's always picking on me. And the foreman was right there, that you're always picking on me. You're always fucking discriminating against me only, nobody else. Like, and it's impossible to think that only I am the one that's fucking up, not bringing gloves or not working hard enough or whatever. Before I was injured, I was working hard like everyone else. You know, now I'm injured, I gotta be careful because I might be permanently injured and I'm gonna get a settlement. And I can't be fucking lifting up shit, even though I can. Yes, maybe I can, but I shouldn't, because I have an injury, and if it's permanent, then I need to get a settlement for the injury, because it's gonna stay like this for the rest of my, you know, for you know, a long period or whatever, you know, like. So anyway, I ended up losing her today because then we got into an argument. She started saying, oh, I'm a good person. I said, really? I didn't think so, because one of the reasons I stopped talking to you is because you come to work and you flirt with me. I stopped talking to you, and you have a husband. I stopped talking to you because of that. And then you're flirting with every other fucking guy that's around. You know, every other, you know, you start to make me jealous. I don't know, you know, but it's just not working because you're not even single, you're married, so you don't belong to me. You, like, your heart doesn't belong to me. And I know that she likes it. She does, like she was attracted to me a lot, because I could even see in her eyes she was mad, but she would look over her. And I'm already over like letting people know that oh, you know what, I love you, and like I'm hurting right now. Like, fuck that. I'm not that weak anymore. You know, I know better that, you know what, you're a fake ass bitch, and you ain't nothing, because your fucking little feelings that you have are temporary, and then you're gonna go on to the next person and treat them like you're treating me. Like, you know, you're not genuine. You treat everyone like that. So, well, who's special? Nobody's special, because you treat everyone like you need their attention. And these guys, like, nobody's me. Nobody will ever be me. You know, like at work, like I'm me. I'm. There's only one nest. You know, and so So anyway, back to the topic, is we had a discussion that he was discriminating against me, and so we ended up coming to an understanding that, you know, he needs to lay the fuck off me, you know, the boss, like the foreman, not the owner of the company. And so Then she says, and this is where I relate it to a lot of fucking people that I see in society in different places. She said, oh, well, I was cool with you until I found out how you were. And I was like, oh, really? So let's talk about that. So how am I? Because the boss should know who I am and how I am, right? She says, oh, well, you come to work and then you're listening to your music and you start jumping around and you're dancing. And I'm like, oh, you mean that I sing and I'm happy and I'm fucking turned, I'm lit, I'm turned up and I'm happy and my vibration's high and you don't like that? So what is, like, what is that? That's a problem? And she didn't have nothing to say, you know? And that's the thing about a lot of people. They don't want you to self-express. They don't want your vibration to get high or too high. You know, they want to keep you in a controllable level. And that's why Andrew Tate, like, that fool's the truth. You know, he speaks about that. Like, people want to keep you locked in a box. They don't want they don't want you to grow. They don't want you to get better. They want to see you when you're all fucked up, when you're fucking trash. That's how they want to see you. And that's how most people want to remember you. And that's what I noticed is that, I know, like, at that dental place, there's like one lady that years ago, she was my neighbor. They were on Dr. Phil. I think if I'm sure that it's her. And I know, you know, I know that they were talking shit after I left, and I really don't care. But one day, fucking, like, anyway, there's history. I don't want to go too much into it, but you know, I don't want to say too much because back then was back then, you know, and like my brother fucked. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into that, but things have happened, like, you know, and people will always talk about some mistake that you made, something that you fucked up, and you were wrong, and maybe you made a mistake or maybe not or whatever. And that's every time they're gonna bring that up, like, oh, like, yeah, like, you remember when you did this or blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, so if you remember me for the same fucking mistake my whole life, I'm never gonna be able to change with you. I'm never gonna be able to grow with you. And that's why you gotta cut these people off, because these are the type of people that want to see you fail. They say they mean well, they might be nice, but they don't. They hate your guts. They fucking talk about you, and they gossip about you, you know? And maybe that's what I felt when I first went into that fucking dental place. Cali Dental, no matter where they are, I'm sure they're probably all the same. And I'm sure some people go in there and have good experiences. But for someone like me, someone that has made mistakes, but has also won, has done great things, like, I don't recommend it to anybody. I really don't. Because they're supposed to be professional. They're working on your teeth. Your teeth are sacred. It's how you eat. It's how you feed and nourish your body. And they couldn't even give me the girl's name that was working on my mouth. They couldn't, you know, they couldn't work with me. I needed to get my tooth pulled. You know, now I got to pay like almost $1,000 just to get my tooth pulled. You know, so I'm going to do that. But anyway, I got to go. I hope you guys have a great day. Happy Friday. Don't forget to go out and drink some beer. Do something fun. Go play with your kids, you know. Go take them out to Boomers or whatever the fuck. Camelot Park, Six Flags, somewhere nice, somewhere cool. If you're broke, go to the park. I always had best times at the park with my siblings. God bless you guys. Peace.